I know it's close.
It's pretty precious.
Sit for a minute. We're going to take a photograph.
Maybe.
The touches that are it's a great turnout on the Would you like to come around here?
John, hi. Hi. How are you? Good.
You have your official portrait taken. Photos will be ready at the end of the dedication.
Well, I think so.
All right. All right, everyone, you're going to be facing this way, and I'm going to be talking that way. So unless you want to watch my back,
Hello.
This is going to be a little bit of a challenge since I'm normally sort of soft-spoken. I'll give it a shot. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Pat, our co-conspirator. Especially hello, Arnold, our victim, and thank you for joining us here under such mysterious circumstance. I called Arnold at home last night at 7 o'clock and said, Arnold, I have to ask a special favor. I can't tell you why, but you have to meet me at the Old First Church at 2 o'clock tomorrow.
And I immediately thought about what kind of ecclesiastical.
So one of your reactions was, well, Pat likes to paint in the afternoon, so I'm not sure if she'll be able to join us. And I said, well, ask her. You know, maybe she'll want to join us. But anyway, thank you for being here. And you all, I hope, have a cup of sparkling juice or water or something, because I believe there'll be a toast made in a few minutes. So at this little dedication, Arnold, we have a few things to give you. And I'm going to say a couple of words, and then hand things off to Bob and Richard.
Well, thank you. I think
Say again?
you're done.
No? Not quite. So, why are we here? We're here really to show our appreciation, deep affection for you and all you've done for this community in 40 years of volunteer service as a trustee, lamplighter, and highway superintendent supervisor. Looking around Old Bennington, many of the lovely things like the motorcycles we have here, many of the lovely signs Old Bennington that we all enjoy every day. We know are here because of your years of care and really patient dedication. So thank you very much for that.
Well, this community really impels engagement. And I think we all feel that in our various ways. And it offers opportunity for us to express that in one form or another. And I feel very fortunate to have been given the opportunity to have a hand in its ever-renewing of itself. I think that's the way we have to think of it. We've received in trust a great deal. Things back to the intrepid first European settlers of the area. What they had to deal with in creating a home in the wilderness. We all are really in their lengthened shadow in certain sense. Just the original meeting house, we don't know, but what a splendid meeting house came along in due course that survives to bless us to this day. I think it has the most luminous interior of any of the New England churches in Vermont. And it's at the core. I think part of the genius of the village is that it's once filled the heart of a small community gathered early on, and an indispensable part of a much larger community. I'm happy that we don't know generally, or don't think in terms of boundaries. We do know when it comes to taxes and things like that, where boundaries lie. But we are part of a larger community and benefit from it once. And Old Bennington owes much of the survival of its earlier buildings, its early character as a small village, to benign neglect, to the fact that it was so largely abandoned for so long. Early in the 19th century, when water power drew the settlers, the later population, down to where the action was, where it could be, leaving this area pretty much high and dry to the old folks who couldn't afford to move. And so it had persisted through the years. And then when there were those who rediscovered it, about the end of the 19th century, here were these structures still being, in many cases, rehabilitated and brought into new life. As I say, we're all the beneficiaries of this. That's enough.
the beneficiaries of 40 years of hard work on your part. So, as a first token of our thanks from Beyond the Bench, I've got something to present as a memento to you and Pat. This is a framed issue of the May 14th Bennington Banner with a first page story about your years of service to Old Bennington. And, well, Tim is responsible for the idea, but this dapper, dashing photo on the front is all you. Please notice, this is signed by over 50 of your neighbors and friends.
That's what I see, and that is indeed.
It's really a testament to the high regard in which you're held and our appreciation. So we hope this finds a place of honor on your home office wall. And now see a bench and a bar.
Very
Go to
handy.
Bob Bullington, who has another item for your home office wall.
This one's smaller, though, so don't worry about it. Arnold, your work for the citizens of this village has not gone unnoticed outside of the village. You mentioned boundaries. Other people outside of Old Bennington want you to know that they appreciate your efforts. And to underscore that, I have something to read. It's a proclamation. So if you'll bear with me.
Read loud.
Okay. State of Vermont, Executive Department, a proclamation. Whereas Vermont has a long and proud tradition of volunteer citizen service to community government. And whereas our Arnold Ricks has served the village of Old Bennington for 40 years as trustee and highway commissioner. And whereas he has just retired at age 90 from his village position, now therefore, I, Peter Shumlin, Governor, do hereby proclaim June 22nd, 2014 as Thank You for Your Service, Arnold Ricks Day. And it is signed, so it's not fake. It does say, given under my hand and the great seal of the state of Vermont on this 11th day, signed Peter Shumlin. So it's not just Arnold Ricks Day in Old Bennington, it's Arnold Ricks Day in the entire state.
Here.
So now Steve Anisman has some final words and a toast, I hope.
So first of all, everybody, please, a big thanks to Nancy and Peter Meekin. So I have a speech that's written here. I'm told it's shorter than the Gettysburg Address. So before I met Arnold, I don't think I've ever met anybody who could keep my attention so completely while speaking so slowly. Whenever he speaks, it's in full paragraphs with parentheticals. So it's been my great honor, it is my great honor, to publicly thank Arnold Ricks for his tireless work on behalf of our community. I've only lived here for 6 years, but during that time it's become obvious what an important and unique resource he is to the village. While I'm happy I was a witness to part of it, I'm sad to see the end of the era of Arnold. So he's been on the Board of Trustees since 1973, which is a year after he moved here from North Pownell. During that time, he's been responsible for allowing progress, but in a way that doesn't lead to destruction. As we've all witnessed, during the annual meeting, he'll listen carefully to anybody, and he'll consider anything, no matter how crazy it might appear. Then he'll gently guide us to the most graceful solution, which was what he was thinking in the first place, and he'll make us think it was our idea. His background is in history, and I found an article from 1981 where he explained something about himself. He was talking about teaching at Bennington College, where he was Dean of Studies. The quote is, "Teachers are supposed to get down to it with the student. There is no distance between student and faculty. I think he's carried that attitude into his work with us. He's directly and closely engaged with us, but as the resident with more knowledge about us than anybody else, he's willing to take the time to teach us and to improve us. I don't think he's ever stopped being a history teacher. I'm grateful he was able to use our village as his classroom. I count it as one of the primary benefits of living in the village that I was able to be his student. So I'd like to propose a toast. Grab a glass of juice in honor of our Arnold Ricks, with appreciation for 40 years of dedication and service as trustee to the village of Old Bennington, from your grateful neighbors and friends. It's 2000.
Well deserved.
Ask him to say a few words. Want to say a few words?
Arnold, grace us with just a few more words, please.
Well, I do accept your most generous words over quality, because I do it as a member of the living organism of this community. And I don't mean that it stops at the borders of Old Bennington. It's the larger community in which we're part. It really is a wonderful thing to live one's life in a community where so much is done on the basis of person-to-person contacts. The opportunity to have questions raised openly, to be able to disagree, and still to continue to talk, live in faith and expectation that together, as people of goodwill, we can arrive at resolutions in which they're not winners and losers, which we really all bear forth to a fuller dispensation, so to speak. I think that's really at the heart of what it means to be in a community where we fulfill ourselves in ways that none of us can do by ourselves. And so I really have deeply valued the opportunity all of us, and in fact, the lives of all of us. And so I'm deeply touched and moved, and I also feel with you it's more than a celebration of convention. It really is the spirit of the community. And that all great things, as well as dedication to continue on in the same spirit. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mary Lou wants to say a word.
On behalf of the monument and the Division for Historic Preservation, we more than thank you. I don't know how many really remember what the site was like before you orchestrated the project of burying the lines and improving the lamppost. But I have pictures that show it. And back before the wires were buried, people would say, oh, this is such a nice spot. Now, on a daily basis, more than once, we hear, what a beautiful place. And they're overwhelmed by how nice the area is. And I really attribute most of that to your project, the lampposts and the parking lot before. There was no granite curbing. It was just grass that came out.
Jersey barricades.
Yeah. And the improvement is just fabulous. So we thank you for your persistence with the state, because they needed that. Arnold, thank you.
We all need to keep our eyes open.
One final comment. All your neighbors and friends contributed the monies for all of this. This wasn't a nickel out of the town. And over and above that, we were able to raise more than $400 or $500 above our cost, which went to the cemetery maintenance fund, which we know is a project very near to your heart. So thank you so much. So, yes, please. Everyone come up and shake Arnold's hand and Pat's hand and say hello. That concludes the official ceremony.
Nice. Nice job.
Nice job, honey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys wait till it comes time for you. What are we going to do? Huh? We're going to have helicopters moving in. And
I promise, 40 years from now, you can do whatever you want about it.
I know, we'll catch you
It
before
won't
that.
embarrass me.
It's really nice. Perfect. Yeah. Very Yeah, I know.
Heartfelt words.
Sorry, we have to leave, but it's a long 12 hour. Oh my gosh, where are you going? Up on the... Oh, okay. Yeah.